Hey everyone, welcome to the webinar. We're going to give people a few minutes to join before we get going. But looking forward to talking about CloudApp tips and tricks today. Okay. I'm going to share my screen so people can see what they're supposed to see when they come in. If you're just joining, we're going to wait a couple of minutes to let people flock in, and then we'll get started. Welcome to the Learn to Use CloudApp Like a Pro webinar. If you're just joining us, we're going to wait a couple more minutes to let people join. We'll look to get started at in about 2 minutes. Welcome to the Learn to Use CloudApp Like a Pro webinar. If you are just joining, we're going to get started in about 1 minute. While we're waiting for people to get started, if you want to comment and say where you're joining us from, that'd be great. Drop in, see where you're coming from, maybe even what your panic buy was during quarantine. That's always a fun one. Let's start. Before we jump in, let's do a quick panelist question. What was your panic buy before quarantine? Mine was like a whole bunch of snacks. Zeke, and I got a couple of Nintendo Switch games for my kids.
So mine was LaCroix. I think I bought like 10 cases of LaCroix and like Kind granola bars. And those are probably my two biggest ones. And lots of White Claws.
Awesome. Love it. Finn, Jennifer, what was your panic buy?
I think I was hoarding cheese, and I might still be actually hoarding some cheese. Yeah, I had plenty of wine, so I live in wine country, so I didn't need to go out in search of that too much, but I needed the cheese.
Yeah, that dairy supply chain, you never know when it's going to start to fail. You got to be ready.
Good choice. Mine was, so when the pandemic started, it was around my birthday, so I got a drum set. So I spent my whole pandemic just, quarantine, just playing drums. And the neighbors were at their home, so it was okay.
Awesome. Nice.
I also bought a sit-stand desk.
Yes. I came to our office and grabbed one. Lots of books, lots of beer. Got a lot of people joining us from different places: Utah, Mexico City, London, Georgia, sunny UK, Toronto, San Diego. All right, good group today. Awesome. So welcome to the Learn How to Use CloudApp Like a Pro. Chances are pretty high that everyone joining is already a part of our community. So thanks for being CloudApp users. We try really hard to provide a good product and a good experience for all of you. Hopefully you'll probably see some things today that you're already doing, but hopefully you learn a couple of things from some of our power users. We have Zeke, Silva from Insightly, Jennifer Van Leeuwen from Atlassian, and Finn Séraphin Hochart from CloudApp. So we're excited to have some diversity in background and also jobs from different companies to kind of hopefully show you guys a few things that will help both with your own use cases and new things for you to learn. So kind of the agenda today is just some quick intros. I'll give each of our panelists a chance to introduce themselves, give their background, maybe how they started using CloudApp. We'll go through some tips and tricks from each of our power users. We'll review some takeaways, and if there's time, Finn will be sharing some kind of next roadmap things that we're working on at CloudApp to make things even better for our community. So I'd love to kind of start off with some intros. Let's go left to right. Let's start with Zeke and then go to Jennifer and Finn. So Zeke, can you give us a little bit about your background, maybe talk about Insightly a little bit, how you started using CloudApp?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And welcome everyone. My name is Zeke Silva. I am the Senior Director of Client Services at Insightly. Insightly is a CRM and marketing platform. We're located in San Francisco, California. I've been at the company now just under 3 years. I kind of come from an interesting background. I actually started working in restaurants. I've worked for some big tech, Apple, Intuit, and most notably been at Insightly now for about 3 years. Our journey at CloudApp was pretty interesting. Now, I think we're probably one of the earliest adopters, and I actually got a DM on LinkedIn from one of your guys' first employees, and we were looking to solve a handful of service issues and reply times, and it just clicked. And that was kind of our journey to say, let's do something a little bit different. And I kind of saw video as being a very powerful tool for users to be connecting with. Thinking about how users are accepting media and looking for more short form, rich content versus long form email. So that was really a big deciding factor for us to take it on. And thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Zeke. Jennifer?
Hey, I am Jennifer Van Leeuwen. I am an enterprise support engineer at Atlassian. I've been working in the IT industry space, helping customers solve complex software problems since before the Y2K.com bust. And thinking about it today, partying like it's 1999 has an entirely new meaning for me. At Atlassian, our mission is to unleash the potential in every team, including our own. And I'm really thankful that we have an enterprise support account for CloudApp, as it certainly helps me to drive that mission, as well as our other one, which is providing legendary service to our customers. I actually got into CloudApp from another support engineer on our status page team at Atlassian. Previous to this, I was using other tools like Sketch, but when he introduced me to that, I loved the quick, easy way to share screenshots. It was a lot less cumbersome, so that's kind of how I got introduced to it. As soon as I started using it, I was hooked, and I've been using it ever since. And I'm really looking forward to showing everyone today how I use CloudApp to support our customers at Atlassian.
Awesome. Thanks, Jennifer. Yeah, we're big fans of Insightly and Atlassian. I've met with lots of people on at both companies since I started here a year ago. Really grateful to have both of you join us. And lastly, we have Finn from CloudApp. Finn joined us. I don't know. I'm going to let you take that. It feels like longer than it was, really.
Exactly. It's startup life. Every month feels like years, but it's great. It's full of knowledge and everything. So my name is Finn, or Séraphin. That's my original name. I'm from Montreal, Canada. That's where I am currently. So I've been really active in the startup community. I started as a developer. So as a developer, that's when I discovered CloudApp. It was a really great tool to talk to my team, whether it's to send short videos or screenshots. And as soon as I heard that there was an opening at CloudApp, for me, it was a really natural move. I feel like I knew the product inside and out. But actually, there is so much I'm still learning even today. So really glad to be on the team. I'm a product manager, so handling anything that is web or Mac related. And yeah, so if you send feedback to CloudApp, chances are it's going to land in my inbox at some point.
That'd be nice. And lastly, I'm Joe Martin. I'm just hosting today. I'll be putting a lot of the focus on our guests, but I'm the head of marketing over here at CloudApp. Joined about a year ago and previously came from Adobe and some other places, but have been a user of CloudApp for a long time as well, along with Finn, and we both loved it so much that we decided to join the company. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get into kind of the meat of the content. We're going to start with having each of these people, guests, share some use cases of CloudApp. We're going to start with Zeke, then we'll go to Jennifer, and then we'll end with Finn. So starting with Zeke.
Perfect. You can advance once more. I didn't know there's a build there. Awesome. So what is my favorite feature within CloudApp? So it's hands down collections for us. There's something very powerful about a one-off ad hoc video or screenshot when you're supporting your customer base. But there's also something extremely powerful from our point of view about being very organized and having curated content ready to rock and roll. And for us, a big focus for this current year is around feature adoption and product adoption. So that's where collections really come into play for us. So what I'd love to do is demo and show you guys how we are leveraging collections specifically around our different plan levels and how we've organized that and how our team is able to quickly grab videos. So I can start to share my screen if you'd like.
Yep.
Perfect. How we looking?
Great.
Awesome. So as you can see here within collections for me is really powerful. As I noted that it enables us to keep things super organized. By nature, being organized is a great way to stay very efficient. And I will love to tell that story on the next slide around our efficiencies. But what we've done here is we've identified one section where we refer to as panes and features. And so every business has panes, and there's a feature that is within its slightly that enables us to help solve some of those pains. And so what we've done is we've broken those pains by plan level, and we've organized them collectively across here. And so within these collections, anybody within CloudApp can go in and grab something, say around validation rules. Let's say you're on enterprise and you have human errors happening. We already have a video pre-made, ready to go that is applicable for those users. We've also started to leverage CloudApp in our collections to create how-to videos. So how-to videos are also very powerful. It enables us to not have a high production value and record in a studio. We can just record right at home and create simple how-to videos and then place these on our help center. We also place them directly in our macros. And so we have these videos on the ready to rock and roll. The last place that we've leveraged our collections is actually with our macros. So within our Zendesk environment, we have macros that are ready to rock and roll that have links to articles, and sometimes those can get a little long. So what we've elected to do is put the link right at the very top of the macro to say, here's a video that explains what's going on. If you're more of a reader, keep going, totally fine. But if not, here's a short video that's going to explain what's going on. And so that is how we've been able to leverage collections, and we found it to be super powerful within both our support organization, but also our customer success organization, and we're starting to get our sales team on it as well.
It's really awesome. Yeah, I think a key usage for a lot of different users in the community is these how-to videos. I think it's really great that you can create them to be generic if they're repeatable, and store them in collections and really find a great way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Awesome. So the next thing that we would like to I will talk to about is, what has been our biggest use case, and it's really just been video versus email. In the beginning of my intro, I talked about how video is a great medium for consuming information. It's quick, it's digestible, and it's impactful. And we've seen that the direct impact with and how it's improved not only my role, but just our team's performance and how customers react to that. So when you think about our FY19 metrics over our FY20 metrics, when we started to adopt CloudApp in late 2019, you'll see there's a direct correlation between our CSAT going up, our one touch, and also our first reply time. So we're able to be more efficient, we're able to provide better service, and we're able to get to more tickets. And that's also reflected in the testimonials that our customers give us. So it's super, humbling, and I'm very proud of our team to say what we, from our frontline support, that we can hit a 95% CSAT in FY20. But when you read the comments like this, we know that it's a direct reflection to us leveraging CloudApp and leveraging the videos and how impactful those are when supporting our customers. So I feel with that, I'd like to go ahead and actually hand it over to Jennifer.
Cool. Thanks, Zeke. Yeah, I think we've seen with a lot of different groups that really commit to it. And Insightly is definitely one of those like best in class setup of, and Atlassian as well, best in class setup of CloudApp, where you have it nicely set up and easily accessible by lots of different groups. And when you're kind of committed to it, we've found time and time again that these customer satisfaction levels, connection points, and really just satisfaction with asynchronous is really effective. So it's really cool to see, every time you've shared this like data with me, Zeke, when I've seen it, I think it's really cool to see that you guys are, actually, tracking real time things about that.
Yeah, the other thing that's super cool is just our drops. When we meet with our CSM, seeing our drops increasing quarter over quarter or month over month, that tells me too that we are as a team adopting the product, which is something you're always going to be super mindful when you're bringing on another, piece of technology into your tech stack. Is your team adopting it? Are they using it? And across the board, unequivocally, our team loves to leverage videos, especially CSMs. That's kind of the new piece that they're really starting to leverage. So I think that there's such a tremendous amount of value in video and being able to get a message across and also be able to send a personal message. I think that's something else that is so unique and really kind of separates, a standard support organization from like a really world-class support organization. Being able to put that personal touch on a video to your customer is amazing.
Definitely. Very cool. Thanks, Zeke. Yeah, collections are a part of the upgraded plans, but you can make them available to external folks as well to access. I do it quite a bit for our press kit. That was a question that was asked, so I figured I'd just answer it. We have a press kit that I have shared in a collection, and I can share that link externally with designers or press or whoever we're working with, and they can see our guidelines and get access to all of our images really quickly. Cool. So now we are going to, I'm going to share my screen again, and we'll go to Jennifer.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. I have seen the same, Zeke, that NPS. I don't have the numbers. I didn't take the time to do that, unfortunately, but I definitely have noticed a big change in our customers when you send a video or a screenshot versus just sending an email list. So obviously up here, my favorite feature of CloudApp is using annotations outside of the ability to just quickly take and share screenshots, which I do pretty much throughout my entire day, whether I want to show a friend, my daughter, a coworker, a customer, maybe somebody that I need help with from a service, a screenshot, just really anything that I want to show to another person that appears on my computer screen or online. I'm using CloudApp to take screenshots of those things. I think that I could probably use the CloudApp keyboard shortcut in my sleep just because I use it so much, because it just makes my day so much easier, really. That said, the real magic of CloudApp really comes with the annotations, because you can quickly highlight the exact parts of the screen that you want a viewer to focus on. If you kind of think about it, it's funny how different people's perceptions are and what we might all look at when we look at something. So I could show you all a random picture of a circus and ask you to tell me what you see. Some of you might see the clowns because you're scared of them. I would see the lion because I think they're regal and I just really like cats. So the beauty of the annotation really is that it allows you to guide the viewer's eyes exactly to the spot on the screen where you want them to focus, rather than just hoping that they're going to see the same thing that you do, which really leaves room for potential confusion. The customer might just give up. They don't understand what they're supposed to be looking at, and so they might just walk away. The screenshot on this slide here was something that I sent to a customer when I was helping them learn to use Jira Portfolio, how to filter by completion date. It's a little cumbersome because you have to click a more button and then you get this other field, and customers seem to miss this. So that was something that I wanted to quickly show to a customer. Let me show you how we can quickly do that.
Awesome. And someone asked for some basic features of CloudApp. Annotation is definitely a part of the basic feature set, but is also probably one of the quicker ones that you'd want to learn, and that can provide you really quick access to marking up a screenshot. Jennifer's going to share that with us.
Cool. So in my role at work, I provide our Jira Enterprise customers support every day. I'm really trying to resolve as many customer issues as I can, so that I can help a lot of different people just solve their problems. And I also like to help people learn throughout the process. So I'm really trying to teach them, just not solve their problem, right? So the more efficient that I can be, the better. So let me look at an issue that I got here today in Jira Service Desk. This customer wants help configuring a resolved queue. So they basically say they can't figure out how to create a resolved queue in Jira Service Desk. Can you please help me figure this out quickly? My boss asked me to get this done by the end of the day. So it's really important that I understand this on your first response, right? So we have a confused customer. What am I going to do to help them? The first thing that I'm going to do, I understand they're really, really anxious to understand this right away. So in this case, the screenshot seems like the best thing to do. I could send them to a KB article, or I could send them a list of steps, but a screenshot is really more powerful. So I'm going to navigate to the new queue, and I'm going to use a shortcut key. You can see that this pops up the option for me to take a full screenshot just by clicking once, or I can also select the area by clicking and dragging. To make my life easier, I'm just going to take the screenshot. If I'm on the phone with a customer, maybe during a screen share, and they're trying to show me something complex, a lot of times I'll use this quick screenshot functionality. Don't worry, I ask them first if it's okay. I take a screenshot of their desk. I'll just use that because it's easy, quick, and I can do it super fast. If I'm replying to a customer, I might actually use the selection bar. But the great thing is once it's in my CloudApp, I can just double click on it and it brings up this annotation window. The first thing I'm going to do is I don't necessarily want them to see maybe the URL that I'm using or some other things, so I can go ahead and just crop that out. If my screenshot's too big, you kind of have to, I think I'm going to get the WebEx in here, or the Zoom, double click on that, and then that will show me my cropped area. So I'm missing some key things here, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. Another thing I could do if I wanted to hide some data would just be to use this hide tool. Oh, it's called the pixelate tool, which I do use when I'm hiding customer data from things. So the annotations gives you a bunch of different things. You have arrows, you have lines, you can highlight, pens. The one that I like in particular is Spotlight tool, because I can show the customer exactly what I'm trying to point them to. Now I'm going to do the screenshot again because I messed up. But now you can all see what it looks like. So I go back to CloudApp. It's going to take a minute to upload, probably because I'm on Zoom here. Once that's done, double click it again. And now I have what I want. I'm going to go ahead and quickly crop that out again. And now I have a cleaner screenshot. So I'm going to go ahead and use the spotlight tool to highlight all of the different areas that I want the customer to see. Notice that it sent the rest of the image to the background and highlighted the parts that I wanted them to see. I can also change the line color if I want. I'm just going to leave it red for now. So I'm going to highlight all the parts of the screen. Whoops. I'm going to do Command Z, which allows me to fix any mess ups. Reposition this. And I'm missing a little create button there, but there's a create button down here. I'll just pretend it's there for the sake of completeness. So now that I've highlighted the parts of the screen that I want them to see, I can start using arrows to point. And you can see that now it's giving the user where I want them to look on the screen immediately, and it brings those things into focus. I also like to add text. You can also change the color of the text and decide if you want it outlined or not. I'm going to make it black for now. It's a bit difficult to see, but that's okay. I can fix that later. So I like to say, step 1, click here. Just for the sake of quickness, it's going to be a little messy. Step 2, click drop down, and I'm actually going to add a little arrow. Let's pretend that the resolved is there. I was supposed to do that, but I got a little nervous. And then I'm going to say 3, click, whoops, done, checkbox. And if I don't like the size of the text, you can actually resize it here. Depending on your needs, you can also kind of drag this around how you like. And then the last thing they need to do is click this create button that's not there. And that's it. Now you can see that I was pretty easily able to get a customer to look at what they need to do. I was able to give them notes about what I wanted them to do. And then once I'm ready to share that content, I can just copy the content and share it out.
Awesome. Before we move on to kind of your next use case, Jennifer's using the Mac version of the product. We have Mac, Windows, and Chrome. And that's actually kind of like, think of robustness of our products. Mac is probably the first, then Windows, then Chrome. So that's why some of the menu things that Jennifer has there, you may not see in yours if you're using a different version. But that's how it kind of works. Jennifer was using CloudApp for annotating. She used the menu bar, but you can also use shortcuts, which are different for each app. And you can find those within the settings of the app, look for a how-to article that we have on annotation if you have any other questions. Awesome. Okay. Now I think we're done. Is that it for you, Jennifer? Or did you have one more thing to go over?
I've got some more stuff here.
Oh yeah, this is it. Okay, sorry.
No worries. Cool.
Awesome.
So I think it's pretty clear that my biggest use case for CloudApp is really to share screenshots or quick videos with my clients via Jira Service Desk. It's improved my role just because it really helps to improve that client understanding, and it just saves time in general. The CloudApp screenshot over here on the side was just me responding to a customer, letting them know that this functionality that they were looking into wasn't very intuitive. So I created them a quick video. I gave them some documentation to point to. As you can see here, I used that pixelation tool to hide the customer's name. But let me go ahead and show you how you would share this with a customer in Jira Service Desk. So back to my ticket here, maybe. And I'm just going to go ahead and reply to the customer once this finishes loading here. And I'm doing a trick so that I don't have to type it all out. And I'm going to just go ahead and from CloudApp, just drag and drop that screenshot.
And I'm going to stop you real quick. Someone actually just asked, instead of sharing the link, how do you share the picture? And you actually just answered it. So if you missed that, Jennifer just dragged from her app the picture straight into Jira. And you can do that with any document or any type program. You can just drag and drop it to your desktop or into the program that you want the image to be in. Sorry. Thanks. That just worked perfectly with the question.
For Service Desk, you can also, awesome. So then I just put my signature in and click save, and my customer has that image, and I'm off to help my next customer.
Awesome.
Awesome.
That was great. And I love that you use Jira as well. That's a pretty common program that people are using with CloudApp, especially if you're on the engineering or product side. And it integrates really well with just being able to drag and drop. And a lot of people are loving your drag and drop.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it because previous to CloudApp, I would have to attach the image first, which would add it as an internal comment. Then I'd have to go in and right click and then, you know, copy that content in. But I really appreciate just being able to quickly drag and drop. It saves me time and gets me on to my next ticket.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, big fans again of Atlassian and Sightly. We're really grateful that both Jennifer and Zeke joined us. Lots of cool features that included, you know, some really basic stuff like just a screenshot or an annotation, but you know, we wanted to highlight some use cases that people may not have thought of in different roles. So hopefully, if you didn't know how to take a screenshot or annotate on something, that has been helpful. I know a lot of people love that drag and drop, so that was great. Next, we're going to move on to Finn. Finn is going to take us through a couple of his favorite things, and then continue on with either some stuff on the product roadmap or even just some basic features if people have questions about that stuff.
For sure. Thank you for the demo, Zeke and Jennifer. I think I really love, you know, we use collections internally. I am a product manager, so in a lot of cases, I need to do product demos, share them with people. So I would create a collection, for example, for a specific customer to show them, you know, different areas that they can improve or how they can use them through different videos. So one part that I love is annotations, like you, Jennifer. And I can show, I think if we have sometimes some other tips and tricks, but I think you covered, you know, 90% of the features that are, you know, great and that can really help you improve your flow. The other part that I really love and that I decided to highlight today is videos. So videos is a big part of CloudApp as well. So we are all digital workers. I think most of us currently working from home. And one thing that we all want to avoid, I think, is meetings. We want clarity, we want things documented. So whether it's through annotations or a video, I think those are the two ways to make explanations really clear. So today, what I'm gonna walk you through is how to make a video, pretty simple, and then how to make it even faster, even better.
Finn, yeah, but Finn, also, if you wouldn't mind doing a quick GIF as well.
Yes,
someone asked about a GIF. So as a part of this, how to do a video, let's also do a GIF.
For sure. And as you're gonna see, most of the flows are pretty similar. You know, we don't really want to reinvent the wheel. So I'm gonna share my screen. So if you can see my desktop, this is part of my day-to-day. For example, there's a Jira ticket, and as a product manager, there's a lot of details that usually go into tickets, like you should probably do X, you should probably not do Y, and here is how. So when annotations, I think, need a bit more context, what I like to do is go to the cloud icon. As you can see at the top, there are different actions. So whether it's screenshot, record, GIF, annotate, or just upload a file. So I'm gonna go on to record. So this is one of the newest interface that we've done on the Mac. It's coming on Windows. I think we probably have a lot of Windows users there. So I don't want to forget you. We're still trying to make a CloudApp awesome. And usually what we do is release it on Mac, test with a lot of customers even before we release it. And once we know it's pretty solid, we usually bring it to the other products as well. So just to ensure that you have a consistent experience. So I clicked on video. I see a couple of options. By default, it selected my full screen, screen and cam, which means that the users will see my full screen and my camera preview at the bottom that you can see. My microphone is selected, my camera is selected. So that's it. I really don't have to select a lot of options. I can just click on start recording. I get a small countdown telling me I have a bit of time to prepare, and then I can get started. This is how you make a video. It's pretty fast. You can stop it on the menu bar at the top. It creates a link, and I am on to, okay, my notifications were hidden, but it's telling me that a link is ready to share. I can go on Slack, paste the link, and the video is already available. So as you can see here, it's also capturing my Zoom and everything on my screen. So this is the basic flow on how you create a video. If you want more options, so I know, for example, a lot of sales folks, now what they do is they create videos. That's what we do at CloudApp. It's much better to explain a product. So what you can do is when you go on record, the webcam preview at the bottom can be changed. So you can change the size. And you can also put it full screen. So this is great if you want viewers to focus on you and then onto the content. So what a lot of people do is they start recording, they explain everything. Then you can minimize it, pull up your presentation, for example, and go through it. So I'm gonna do that right now. So I'm gonna click on record. I'm gonna do start recording. I can do it full screen. So at the top here, you see that the recording has started. So I can walk you through, my name is Finn, I'm product manager. Here's how the product works, basically. So you can go through slides. While you're recording, you can keep changing it, moving it as well. So it's a lot of small details, but that helps in a lot of scenarios where your content may be somewhere else. Now comes the pro tips. So if you're someone that makes a lot of videos, we made a lot of shortcuts available to you. One that I like is Command Shift Space will pause your video. So this is great basically if you see that there's something on your screen or you want to change your setup a little bit. As you can see at the top, the timer paused, and I can resume either by clicking or also by doing Command Shift Spacebar again. It resumes, everything's working fine, and I can keep presenting.
Hey,
yeah,
Finn, real quick, this would be a good time to show people how you can switch to just screen without video as well.
Yes, exactly. So
you can basically be recording with your face and then be recording without your face, and you can keep switching in between each pretty easily.
Exactly. So how to do that? You can pause the recording again. This time I'm gonna just click on the pause button above. And while you're recording, you can still change a bit your settings. So I can mute myself, or I can just remove my webcam. So in a lot of cases, you may not want your face to be there. This is great for a demo or sales pitch, but maybe in some use cases you don't want that. So that's it. I removed it. I can resume my recording and everything works. So you're doing your presentation. One use case that I love and that our product team does at CloudApp is, for example, charts. They can be complicated to interpret. We use Amplitude internally, and we would do just a short, 2-minute video. Here's the data. Here is the things that I want you to look at. And then as soon as you're done during the presentation, you can click on the red button or do Command Shift 6, which will stop the recording. As you can see at the top, a link of your file is ready to share. So I can go into Chrome, for example. My Chrome does not like me at the moment with everything open. But what's great is that the video can be viewed instantly. So we're doing a recording right now. I just clicked on finish a few seconds ago, but I can already start streaming that video. All right. Two last things that I wanted to show you related to video. If you don't know the shortcuts, when you hover on the action, you can see at the top, record your screen, Command-Shift-6, or you can also go into preferences. I think that's what you were referring to, Joe, earlier.
Yeah, and in PC, it's just under, it's called settings instead of preferences. Yeah, I'm answering some shortcut questions right now on PC.
Yeah, okay, great. I also do have a drop here with just a, yeah, they're pretty similar shortcuts usually. But as you can see, you have the Command-Shift-6 to start and stop your recording, Command-Shift-Spacebar where you can pause and resume, and there are more. The last one that I want to show you is you're someone that does a lot of videos back to back. You do you know, short explanations, whether you're from support or sales. We added a new shortcut called Instant Record, that you can see here, instantly start recording. What this does is without touching anything and just doing Command-Shift-I, it restarts a video with my previous settings that I used. This one is great if, for example, you keep messing up your video. It happens to everybody. You know, you record something you don't, or there is a notification you really did not want to see. You can stop it and then do Command-Shift-I. It starts it again right away.
Awesome.
So this is for videos. I don't know, Joe, if you saw any, you know, big theme or questions that people would like.
No, not with the videos. I think that's great. And everyone, like, you can see like how quickly that uploads. Mac is definitely a little faster than PC, but for the most part, if you're doing quick videos, you should have a link very fast. And it'll just copy it to your clipboard, or you can find it here when it's uploaded. Also, like, I use favorites and collections all the time when I do a repeatable video. Yeah, and then the only other question was the GIF, which I know you're getting to right now.
For sure. So to record a GIF, you can go to the CloudApp icon and click on GIF. And as you can see, it's just a different settings, but you can record, you have the same options as video. So what I want to do here is a GIF of, for example, the current roadmap. See it scrolling, all the different items, so I can share it with my team. So I'm going to do select region, just my screen. That's it. I clicked on start recording. I can now select, you know, a specific area. I can still change some settings if I want to here, but if I click start. So I think you get in the paid plans up to 1 minute of GIF recording, but you can see it, you know, for example, me scrolling. I want to show my team that there's a lot of feedback. I click finish. And the same thing happens. So there is a notification telling me it's ready to share. I can go on Slack, for example, paste it, and it should show right away. So whether it's on Slack or in Chrome. GIFs are a bit heavier. I'm on Retina display as well. But just to say it is the same flow. You can also annotate GIFs. I'm not sure everybody does it, but once in a while, if you want to highlight something specific, you can still, you know, add your arrows and annotate GIFs. One small trick that I think is worth mentioning is when you do an arrow, you can start typing right away. And what this does is that it adds the text to the end of that arrow. So if, for example, like Jennifer, you do a lot of different arrows, step 1, step 2, step 3, you can do one arrow, step 1, another one, step 2. So small pro tip.
And GIF editing is a Mac feature at the moment, but will be available to others soon.
And as you can see, I shared the GIF, and so this is the interface that viewers will see. And And there's a lot more options as well related to GIF. One thing that I will probably highlight if we have a minute is notifications. So one thing that is great with CloudApp is that you get a lot of data on who views the notifications, and we're always trying to add more. So if, for example, you share the link on Slack, the user will click on the link, it's gonna open a window on their end. So they're gonna see, okay, this is all the different stats that Jennifer sent to me. And you will get notified, as you can see at the top here, you will get notified that someone viewed your drop. This currently works on the first view, but there's a lot more you can do. And I think that's a whole webinar on its own related to security settings, asking people to enter an email. But the basic flow, I think, is really, really fast. You share a link, people see it, and you can start a discussion. Was there any questions, Joe?
When annotating a GIF, is there a way to make it disappear after a certain point?
Currently, no. So this is one project that we want to take on at some point, and I'm going to bring up the roadmap really quick. This is not the full roadmap, but this is the suggestion from users. And as you can see, a lot of users are upvoting or adding comments. Video annotation and GIF annotations, I would bucket them in the same category, are still upcoming. So it's really one project that we want to do. I think it's going to be while you record, you can do a bit of drawing on the screen.
And everybody can see our roadmap. It's public. You can Google like CloudApp Trello board and you'll find it. We also have it on our website, but that's probably the quickest way to find it.
Exactly, and we update it when things get released, and just to get some ideas. And believe in a lot of companies I've been to, you would have a roadmap, not really check it. But I think at CloudApp we try to be conscious of it and really go through it, try to see what helps people's workflows.
And what's the latest version? We just did 6.2 on web, right?
Yes, exactly. So if you go on Get CloudApp. On the download page, it's 6.2. That's the latest version we have. And you can see it if you go into preferences. It is at the bottom here. Okay. There's a lot more features in that release. But I think one thing that is worth mentioning is instant videos. So since I'm talking about videos, there's a lot of options in that panel that you can change, whether it's the quality, or do not disturb, I think is a great one. If you make a lot of videos, you do not want these notifications popping up while you're doing a recording. So that's one that I usually always have on. So I will accept it. You can also, show the countdown, highlight your clicks. And one thing that we added is called instant video, which is that as you're recording, it's uploading in the background, which is great because that means as soon as you share that link on Slack, for example, it's ready to be viewed.
Cool.
A little better. Yeah.
And we have one more question for Finn, and then a couple of questions for Zeke and Jennifer. So Finn, with Mac, how do you disable conflicting shortcuts? Or
yes, great question. So if you go on preferences and shortcuts, as you can see, there are a lot of shortcuts, but sometimes another app may take that shortcut. So two things I would recommend. First is you can delete the shortcut and record something that is not being used. So for example, here, if it's a conflict, it's going to tell me that it is, but you can do really any combo you want. That's the first one. You can really personalize it on that screen. That works on both Mac and Windows. And the other one is Apple sometimes takes a lot of shortcuts as well. If you go into System Preferences, Keyboard, and Shortcuts, actually you can see them all and deactivate them. So as you can see, for example, for screenshots, some may be conflicting, so I can just go and only use the CloudApp ones, for example. So if I do Command-Shift-5, it will always work.
Cool. Yeah, Mac can be funny sometimes, so you just have to kind of learn some hacks to get around it. Zeke, with collections, how have you found it the best way to share those across teams and kind of get lots of different teams involved versus kind of just having, you know, a couple of people sharing collections? Basically, how have you gotten collections like to catch hold versus kind of people just doing, you know, rogue screenshots and videos?
Yeah, no, great question. So we still try to harness, you know, people doing very personal videos. We never want to take away from that, but where we have really harnessed the idea around collections is just frequently talking about it, you know, short and often, bringing it up in team meetings, and also asking the team, what are you hearing consistently from your customers? What videos can we create for you and drop into a collection to make your life a little bit easier? And so when we pulse the team and we get what they're looking for, it's just like when you guys have your Trello board, we're getting feedback from our internal customer, the employee, what do they need to make their job easier? And then we will then act upon that. So we leverage Insightly and from a project management standpoint to catch what videos we need to create. And then from there, I assign those out to different users to create those videos. And then we then drop into the collection and then send out a notification on Slack that the new video has been uploaded and or a new collection has been created.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you, Zeke. And Jennifer, what's kind of your favorite annotation hack that you like to do? What's your primary go-tos with annotations? And probably an easy question, but have you found it valuable to add more context to something you're sending? And does it cut down on communication that you're doing with people back and forth?
Yeah, so definitely. I use a lot of arrows, and thanks, Finn, for that tip, because I'll be using that now. Just put my arrow in and start typing. That was a great tip that I honestly didn't know. So I'll be taking a lot more advantage of that. Definitely utilizing the spotlight tools because it, you know, the image comes into focus where you really want people to look, and it just draws their eyes to the right spot of the screen. I already forgot your last question, but I think it was, how have I seen this improve communication?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, like it just drives like a lower number of bounces back and forth between the customer. Sometimes if you just give a user a list of steps to follow, it might not be clear, or maybe people have different learning styles, right? Like if you're a visual learner, it's a lot easier to see a screen and see the different areas of the screen that you want to focus on, rather than having to read through a bunch of steps and then try to interpret those as they're written. Maybe you have a language barrier, for example. So I might write something and somebody else interprets it in a different way. And really just showing that screenshot is like, here you go, like here's what you need to do. And in the cases where I use a screenshot versus just send a KB or a list of steps, I see those issues to much quicker resolution, and the customer is usually really happy, like, hey, look, thanks for taking the time to really show me that video or the screenshot. I also use videos to attach to bug reports. Atlassian has a public bug tracker, jira.atlassian.com. And we list out our the replication steps for developers. But again, a video speaks louder than the words that you have to read on a piece of paper. It just gives them, you know, that quick view into exactly what's happening. And in the event that a developer or somebody else can't replicate the problem, they can now see that somebody actually could make this problem happen. So it can save those, hey, I couldn't replicate this problem, I'm going to close this bug. But wait, maybe there was a special circumstance or something, maybe it's an intermittent issue. So just being able to quickly grab that video and show somebody versus telling them is really powerful.
Awesome. Jennifer, Zeke, Finn, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you everyone for attending. We hit our cap today, so if you were able to attend live, a lot of people weren't able to get in. So I'm glad that you were all able to come, and thanks for being a part of community. Hopefully this is helpful, and you will all get a recording of this later as well. And definitely feel free to continue to reach out to us with any comments or questions. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Joe and everybody.